Hey everybody, this is Spencer with the Itch Network, and we're here to talk about casual gaming. Now, of course, when you start talking about casual gaming versus, what am I saying? Real gaming? I don't know, normal gaming. Gaming as a hobby, you can get into a lot of trouble. So I just want to lay down something. I don't think casual gaming is worse or better than regular gaming. Not one is more elite, not one is greater. I consider myself a gamer, not a casual gamer, but that doesn't mean I think one is worse than the other. So when you're doing this discussion, you have to take out anything that says, oh, you don't think I'm a real gamer? I don't care about real gamers, I don't care about any of that stuff. I just think it's important, if we're going to discuss it, to separate the two and say, not one isn't better or worse. It is what it is. So if I called you a casual gamer, even though a lot of times we say, and filthy casuals and stuff, it's all in jest. If it isn't in jest, then you're a loser. But most of us, I think it's in jest. So with that out of the way, casual gaming versus regular gaming. Why do we even separate it? Why do we delineate it like that? Well, a couple reasons. If the world looks at gaming as a whole and it says, what's the number one game gamers like to play? If you don't have them separated, it's going to be Clash of Clans. It's going to be Candy Crush. It's going to be whatever most people see other people playing. And everyone sees people on their phones, so they're going to say it has to be that. Or it might be Fortnite because it's like crazy popular. But even that's coming to phones. So, there's many reasons. When you look at demographics of gaming, you see that, there's one demographic, there's one thing that says that 50% of gamers are women. Well, and again, this isn't a shot to say women are bad or anything, but I really don't think a lot of women, at least percentage-wise, are into gaming the same way that most guys are. It just ain't true. And it's, I don't have any official statistics in front of me, but the official statistics I've seen say it's 50%. And I have a strong feeling that has a lot to do with mobile gaming. Them saying, well, we're gamers because we play Candy Crush on our phones. So let's really talk about, the difference between casual gaming and professional gaming and try to actually separate the two to see what's going to happen. Now, obviously, there's no real way to do this. It's really impossible. And there's going to be tons of exceptions on either side. But the goal here will be to try to create as few exceptions as you can. And once again, this isn't supposed to be inflammatory. It's just trying to separate casual from normal gaming. Now, what is gaming? I consider gaming a hobby. And if you look up the definition of hobby, you will get an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. That's the official definition of it. But to me, a hobby has three different things to it, three different facets. The first one can be time. It's something that you have to dedicate time to in your life. Whether it's, 10 minutes of time. So and this is where it gets more complicated, is that if it's on your phone and you're doing it while you're supposed to be doing other things, like you're actually talking with people out, but you're just playing with it, like moving things around like this on your phone, is that really time? Well, to me, it isn't dedicating time to it. I mean, time where you're focused on that thing. Now, obviously, people do dedicate time to it, but there's more to the definition. Anyway, that's the first thing, is time. For me, the second thing is cost. So for me, a hobby, you actually have to put money directly to that hobby. Obviously, there's free hobbies out there, but I think most hobbies have a certain level of cost to them that you have to dedicate specifically to them. If you're into sewing, you got to get the sewing stuff. Obviously, that's probably not expensive, but it can be. It can add up to. I have some friends that are into crocheting, so they have to constantly buy the tools for that. If you're into skiing, you have to buy ski gear. Snowboarding gear. You have to spend money to get to the places to do it. If you're into weightlifting, Well, you have a gym membership, or if you do it at home, you buy your own gym there, and you build up the area there. So there's some kind of cost that has to go directly into it. Now, when I say directly, again, I bring the phones in, and I'm bringing the phones in a lot because phones to me are like casual gaming, like the epitome of it. And it's kind of one of the reasons why I tackled this subject, is that if you have a phone, the purpose of the phone isn't necessarily to play the games. The purpose of the phone, and this almost sounds archaic, but is to make phone calls. Now, obviously, no. Most people don't make phone calls anyway, but it's texting, communication, using apps like Facebook, and being connected. Phones are really tools to be connected now, as opposed to just calling somebody. But the primary function isn't exactly the game, at least 95% of the time. It's cool that they have them, but if they didn't have games, I think most people would buy them anyway. So the cost has to be directly focused towards the hobby. So that's the second one, is cost. Now, the third one, and this is important, is energy / effort. You could say effort, but energy. So if you have a hobby, you have to put energy towards it. And that could, in a way, is time. But the other part of it is really effort. Now, if you're gaming a lot, you sit down, you put forth the effort to play it. You've done all these things to really get into it. Now, with a phone, a lot of the games that are on them are more slide this there. They're not actually things you have to put effort into. And that's kind of the point of mobile gaming. It's meant to be more of like resource management, which games can have. But it's focused almost entirely on resource management, on clicking this and then, a million things happen. And then click on this and a million things happen. Point this way, tap, 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 tap. They're meant to be very low stress, very low effort. And for that reason, I generally don't see it as strong of a hobby. Now, there are a lot of games, and that's not to say all games have to be high in effort. But again, I think with these three tenets, it kind of has to hit a certain level, or else it's not considered a hobby. Again, I'm going to reiterate this, not trying to be elitist. That's just how I see a hobby, is you have to kind of focus on making that specific action, a focus in cost, a focus in time, and a focus in effort. So that's how you kind of delineate casual gaming, people that don't really game as a hobby, versus normal gaming, which I think most people that would watch this would be regular gamers. And then the casual gamers wouldn't know what the hell I'm talking about. So let's say you talk to, a casual gamer and you said, hey, what did you think of Dirge of Cerberus? They would probably say, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what do you mean Dirge of Cerberus? Is that a new phone game that came out? No. Gamers kind of know that stuff. They're interested in it. They have a history. They look into things in the past. They're interested in it. Casual gamers are more outside of it. They only care about the things that get pushed towards them that people want them to play, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But to actually lump them in with gamers, I think, is a huge mistake. Likewise, I wouldn't want to tell people, hey, I'm a big gamer, and they'd be like, oh, you're really into that Clash of Clans. I'd be like, no. That's total casual gamer, stuff that I'm totally not interested in. I wouldn't want people to market that way to me. I wouldn't want people to say, man, gamers today really want this function, and it's something from Clash of Clans where you have to buy, 6 gems. And if you see, a lot of companies do think that way, where they say, well, casual gamers are really getting into it when you can buy assets in the video game and make yourself progress through money, real world money. And so they try to put it in, and you can see gamers fighting it. You can see them saying, no, we don't want this. EA did it ironically like a couple times in a month with Battlefront 2 and then UFC. I'm sure they've done it many times before, but that automatically comes to my brain. You can see that casual gamers wouldn't give two shits about that, but regular gamers fight back on that stuff. And you can see there's a rift there, and it's not imaginary, it's real. Is that, you know, you have to separate casual gamers from regular gamers, or else you're going to get a huge backlash. And I think people know it, just it's kind of like an unspoken rule that we can't really talk about it. But I wanted to bring it up because I think it's important, and I think it's something that we need to talk about more, and not in a rage way, in a civilized manner where we can not hate each other. That would be the goal. But anyway, just something I wanted to bring up and see if it started a discussion. What do you think about? Does it matter if there's casual gamers and regular gamers? Does the whole line not matter at all? You can put that in the comments below. That's cool. I can see that side of it too. Just saying we're all gamers, yada yada yada. Which in a way we are. Or do you think that the delineation is perfect? Is pertinent? It could be. I don't know. Put it in the comments below, or if you think I'm an asshole, put it in the comments below. I'm Spencer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.